Welcome back. A bit dark here. It's not sufficient lighting. There we are. That's a little bit more better. Okay. I don't know whether you've seen on somewhere simulations of emergency broadcasting systems. In the case of an event or a disaster, they launch such an emergency broadcasting system. Seen simulations of the Americans years ago, and out of the BBC, what it would look like in the case of a nuclear attack. But the question is, will your government or governments, if under a nuclear attack or threat, will warn the population in time? You've got to see whether it's, how do you say, practical or not. Because the question is, if you launch such a warning and the time they detect probably missiles in flight and actually when they arrive at their target, could be 30 minutes, and launching an alarm on to the population will probably only create panic and chaos and make even more the situation worse. You'll find people blocking up the main roads, all telecommunication systems blocked because people will be ringing each other. I tend to avoid this type of situation or limited the casualties of event of a nuclear missile. Probably the population will be told at the last moment. Probably at 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and they broadcast you the instructions what to do. Do not go out, stay at home, don't block the telecommunication systems, do not block the highways because it's for military use. That's a load of bollocks, because there won't be military or police officers or any other law enforcement agencies. They tend to concentrate on the most important people of society, members of government and stuff, the population. If being attacked by a nuclear missile, will be the ones who will pay the most heaviest price in casualties and loss of lives as well. So whatever it goes, whether it's launched in time or at the last moment, the population in such an event will perish. Depending on where you are at the moment of the strike and how prepared you are, how quick you are. Because they say, in 10 minutes they say, you must be around about 10 miles away from the target to avoid being a victim of radiation. It's impossible, because you'd probably find others doing the same thing as well. That's why they say stay inside, don't block the highways, and don't block the telecommunication systems. Practically, that's going to be in a sitting duck, really. The most casualties will be that. People concentrated in cities, towns, with a certain population, depending at the moment of the day, when it could occur. Obviously, like I said, the governments won't let you know. There's a nuclear missile coming, because they have to take rapid decisions to minimise or to save those people possible. Because if they say we're going to start evacuating these cities because they're potential targets, it's impossible, because everyone will just jam up the whole system of roads, highways, or whatever. That's why they say stay at home as a sitting duck and wait your fate. Well, there are things you can do. There are government websites, how to prepare for such events. Better check it out. What does your local government say about such events? Or there are people who are called preppers. Those people stock up and pile up food, and they consider crazy people. They're not crazy people. They are pretty wise people. They probably for years been preparing for such events. They all know how to behave, how to act in certain situations like this, and have more possibility of survival, because 90% of the population will just go in panic mode, panic. If you have some survival preparations, you know how to act in certain circumstances, your probability of survival is a bit more higher than the rest of the people. Independent, going back to a nuclear strike, how far away or how near you are. Because in the air you get vaporised. These have to be 10 miles away to avoid the lethal radiation. More longer away you are from so-called target. You got to see what type of devices they use. If they use a strategical bomb and its yield, how many megatons it's got, and how it's exploded is the difference. Because it's exploded on the ground, all the stuff of the explosion will go up in the air and come down as fallout. If it's exploded at a certain altitude, that won't create radiation, will only create destructive energy for a radius maybe 50 kilometers for stars radius minimum. And that's basically how the situation is. But mind you, in the current international events occurring around the world, the nuclear threat is pretty high than average. Governments and mass media won't say this because to avoid great panic and chaos, because society, as soon as they hear this, it just collapses, let alone being a target of a nuke from the other side.